Ciao ragazzi, what's going on? It's Zaradesh back, welcoming you to another edition of a So You Want to Pull For. This is the Ultimecia edition. Wanted to showcase her before her LD drops, along with her character boards, and then do a flash forward once I am going to pull for her tonight. I'm going to try and throw about 100, 150 tickets. Hopefully we get her. Trying to not really touch the gem stash until some of the later content comes in November. November is going to be a really rough month for me. But that being said, I want to just do a before and after of her. If you haven't gotten Ultimecia yet and you need to pull the EX and the LD, or if you already have her built up but you just want to go for the LD, to give you a little bit of an idea of what she's capable of and if it's really worth your resources and to what extent. But gonna showcase her. I know I did the same with Ali Say on my last So You Want to Pull video, but I'm still gonna use two different party comps with Garnet and Charlotta to give her the maximum amount of damage with the weakness damage, auras, some Eye Brave regen from Charlotta, and then also from Afmal. So a little less on the weakness, no weakness damage side, a little less on the damage, but a stronger Eye Brave, and see kind of how that balances out currently versus once the LD drops and I have her made up. I'm a big fan of Ultimecia. I love her in this game. So she's got some outdated spheres, but they're still pretty good. The Garland's plus 10% attack. The Ace is plus 10% Brave, and then her own, which is a defense down, which is still pretty good. Might change this up a bit. I might wait for some of those nodes that came out in JP to remove some spheres, but for the time being, we're just going to leave these alone. They're good enough for her. Have some pretty solid passives. I'm going to stick with the 2, 3, 30, 2 stars for now, just to kind of see where that affects her damage with Garnet versus Afmal, the extra damage versus the regens, and then a perfect 108 330. So I have some other 108 passives if we need to go full 108 attack. We'll figure that out in the Chaos mission later tonight. But for now, we're gonna just do a quick before and after to showcase her. But she is completely made up. So let's go ahead. Just like all my So You Want to Pull videos, going with the daily token foray against the Cactar. Looks like we're getting a little bit of connecting issues. Should be all right. Okay. So obviously with the LD coming out, I'm sure you've seen on most of the Should You Pull videos, the different content creators that are throwing them out there. She's going to get tremendously better with opening the LD to get that 5 stacks of her initial buff that gives her the plus version of all of her abilities. But for the time being, we're going to go ahead and just get those stacks built up so we can see what kind of the maximum damage potential for kit is. You see there the opener, she's still doing 63k due to Charlotta, so it's definitely helping her out. We'll go ahead and get Garnet set up with all the buffs, and starting out with a turn 57k on Ultimecia is pretty good. All right, so let's see. And so she's hitting 9999 right now with the weakness damage, so that's really good. We'll let Cactar hit us. See what kind of regen we're going to get on Ultimecia right now. Oh, it's hard to see because he gave us a buff or something. Let's go ahead and get that last Protean Swords up. So still hitting 8k without the break on, so that's not terrible. Get back to her turn. All right, so she's gained 24k Brave. You saw that. So that's pretty solid Brave gains there. We do have Apocalypse up. Let's go ahead and go into the Apocalypse. All right, so she capped out at 95k. I think she had a debuff on her. Same one as Charlotta has. Yeah, so it's max Brave down. So she probably would have hit the 99k, no problem there with this party comp. She's got the free turns. Let's go ahead and go with the Hell's Judgment. Okay, so she's capping out the max Brave. And then we'll go to the Protean Swords. Okay, she's capping out 61k. So plus 20% on there. Let's go to regen. So with that regen, she's gaining 40k, which is actually pretty huge. The HP attack's 150 right now, and that's only a 20. So let's do the HP attack. So we're doing 91k with the Charlotta buff on the HP attack. Now, while we get to the next party comp and see what kind of regens we can get, I think the max Brave and the Overflow is going to be more important. Characters like Aerith could do really well here too, or even Lena with the Brave Overflow that she gets from her 3/3 EX. But Ultimecia will also be getting her character boards. The Protean Swords is getting around, I think it gives a 10% attack up. And it also gives 30% overflow to that ability, as well as some extra damage. So that should get to a 150. So as long as she's hitting around, that 55k, 60k mark, non-synergy, she should be capping with Charlotta's buff for sure. And then it's questionable on if she will or not, but we're gonna see that here in a few minutes. The ability 2. Let's go ahead and get this other party set up. The ability 2 is going to get only 10% overflow, but that is 100% AoE, and you're usually using that after Apocalypse. Sometimes you could use it back to back, but the ability 2 is getting that 10% overflow, the extra damage. It's also giving her a 10% max Brave, so she's getting some decent little buffs there. And then the EX is getting, on the initial use, an additional 20% regen on when you use it before the Brave attacks. And also, if she's at max Brave, you can do a 20% overflow before the Brave attacks. So, for instance, if you're using like Garnet or Aphmau to get that regen going, and she has the If she has the max Brave already, then she can overflow 20% before the EX Brave hits happen. So that's really good. She's getting an additional, I think, 20% overflow on that attack. So she should be hitting 99s, 99k on that without any issues. I think that's it. I'll have to go back and check, but that should be it. So definitely getting some good character boards. If you're gonna use her, you gotta go and get them. The LD is going to be giving her extra Brave, extra attack. So the LD is definitely going to capitalize and make everything hit harder. If I had to guesstimate non-synergy with the proper team comps, her ability 2 should be hitting at least 70, 80k. It might even be capping at 99k with Charlotta. So just to give you guys a quick run through with Aphmau's, and we'll see how this party comp works. We'll go ahead and set up with all the Aphmau's buffs. We'll get some regions going. Alright, so we'll get all the Aphmau's buffs up onto the party. And then we will 6 element to get the speed up and speed down. All right, wow, 90k, that's great. I'm actually gonna hurl staff. We want to see what kind of regions we can get out of. So Aphmau is getting like 17, 18k, so that's pretty good. Let's just go break attack. We're at 15.4. Holy crap! Did you guys see that? I think it was like 40k regions there. That was really insane. Wow, that was insane. Let's just use Help's Judgment. Alright, so Charlotte's buff is still up. Alright, let's watch and see. So Ultimecia is at 15.5. Let's see if we can check the regions. 15 and 25. So she's regenning 40k there. Let's go ahead and use her Set Brave and see if we can see what kind of regions we're getting. Yeah, that was 42k. And then I think we're still getting another one, but it's hard to tell. So yeah, she's basically regenning her whole everything. So what I assume from that is if you're using either her AA, her action, I think it's called action ability, her AA ability, with other party comps, she's going to be brave capping every turn. If you use it with Aphmau, it allows you to HP plus for infinity, and then you can just casually spam one of her abilities to get the she's gaining 24k in her Apocalypse, so she's going to get another 20% on top of that, with 20% overflow. So 20% on top of that, you're looking at another 5,000 roughly. So she's gaining 30k there as well. So that in combination with like Aphmau, we're getting a minimum, 40k regens. You're getting 30k on the EX. She's at 70k already. So that EX is going to just be hitting super, super hard. Even on multiple bosses where it's split, you're going to be hitting very, very hard with that EX. And then obviously you go into the extra turns where you get the free ability. Let's see what we can do with Protean Swords. Alright, so she's capping out at 57, 69 with Charlotte's buff. So that gives you some real world numbers. If you have some of these characters, just how good you can make her kit. From the looks of it, just with those regens, even with magic resistant bosses, if you're bringing Aphmau instead of Garnet, she's still, I don't recommend that, but she's still going to be hitting for almost her max brave, and then you're getting another 50% overflow. It's 150%, but 50% more overflow on her HP plus. So once we get the LD maxed out, she's going to get extra stats there. She's going to get extra stats from her character boards. You could see her max brave, in the mid to high 60s, maybe even approaching 70k, maybe 65, 68k, I'm thinking right now. So with that HP plus, and it is an AoE HP plus, she's going to be putting up some pretty sick numbers. She might even be capping out at 99k non-synergy if we can get her max brave that high. So I'm gonna leave her 2 330s and 2 stars on, and kind of see what kind of damage we can get, not only in the foray once the LD drops, but also in some chaos missions. So I'm gonna pause the video right there, and we'll come back as soon as her weapons drop, and I'll see you guys in a few.